That's Melissa Wand with our national anthem, and we say hi again, everybody. Greetings to hockey fans from 8 Mile Road to 14 Mile Road. We have another evening of high school hockey for you tonight here on TV 10. It is the playoff-bound Farmington Falcons here on their home ice in their regular season finale, taking on the Novi Wildcats. And the Falcons have, well, they've been on fire of late. In their last 4 games, all victories. They've outscored their opponents 29-9. This is a hockey team, the Farmington Falcons, which struggled scoring goals for, well, a good long stretch of the season, 6, 7, 8 weeks maybe. But boy, they have turned it on, as we say, in the last 4 games with those 29 goals scored. And as we take a look at the rink from our end zone camera, skating in and out of the frame, you're going to see number 30. The goaltender, there he is, well, his stick anyways, that's John Lethman. I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, the youngster has been just fantastic this season for Farmington. Comes in with a record of 10-8-2. Goals against is very solid at 3.05, very solid for this level. Save percentage is all but unbelievable at .903. And as we talk about Lethman, it's Farmington looking to continue the offensive explosion as they bring the play into the Wildcat zone, and a shot from out near the high slot area wound up off to the side of the net. That's number 77, Cooper McLean, banging away at it. But the goaltender tonight for Novi, Patrick Carney, able to slam the door. He'll cover, and we'll have a face-off in the Wildcat zone. And just like that, a matter of 24 seconds into the hockey game, both the coaches, Mark Vellucci for Farmington and Todd Krieger for Novi, make player changes, wholesale changes. So fresh bodies out there in a game just underway, and Drake Cole off that drive, number 55 for the Falcons. Let her little wrist shot go. That was stopped by the goaltender, Carney. Puck loose off to the side, and the Wildcats will move back out to center ice. Carried to the Farmington blue by Chris Kennedy. He'll move into the left corner, and he's shouldered off the puck on a nifty hit by Nick Gazzuro, number 26. Centering pass eludes everyone, goes the length. And no icing. The goaltender, Carney, comes out to tap it up the near side wall, and here come the Wildcats back into Farmington territory again. Little spin move by Kennedy, laid it out in front, and at the last moment, Roman Firestone was there to break it up for the Falcons. Patrick White-Tolo, had it momentarily at his own blue line. The puck comes back out to center ice. Firestone trying to play it back into Novi territory. Does Carney, very quick with the stick, came off to the side of his own goal and whacked it to the near side wall. Wildcats will feed it around and look to break out of their own end, and they do, but the pass of the Aaron Variety came somewhat aimlessly back out to center ice, and the Falcons will regroup and head back the other way. Shot in by D.J. Rankin. He'll head to the bench as the Falcons go for another change here, and a hit and a takeaway in the neutral zone by Farmington's Chris Hamilton. He fires it in. Farmington, though, is completing that last line change, and that'll give Novi the time they need to get the puck out of their own zone. Picked up, though, by Rankin. DJ sends it to the Novi line, broken up right there, and Rankin will pick it up again. Collided just a little bit with his own man, Jason Petrus. And the Wildcats with puck control again. Just underway here in the first period at the Farmington Hills Ice Arena. No score in this one between the Farmington Falcons and Novi Wildcats. Great as always to have you with us here on TV 10 on a Tuesday night. It is February 12th if you're watching the archived version of our broadcast here this evening as the Wildcats take over just inside their own line. Retreating deeper into the zone goes Jimmy Hole. Wraps it around the end wall. Falcons trying to put a forecheck on, and Grant Newton, number 2 for the Falcons, holds momentarily at the right point. Big time hit down below, as that was Nick Gazzuro running his man hard and along the wall. Wildcats, though, maintain control of the puck, and they'll clear. At his own line, that's Richard Lamb controlling for Farmington. Lays it up the left side for Drake Cole. Cole checked, had the puck taken away. Scoring opportunity for Novi is walking in with a backhand, Luke Bajeris. And Lethman went down low and denied it. Falcons cleared, and Wildcats cleared right back in. Falcons were trying to get it out of there, but Austin Meltzer's attempt to send it out to center ice hit a teammate's leg, stayed in the zone. Novi putting some pressure on in the Farmington end early in this hockey game. And the Falcons content now to play it back to the Novi line. They'll go for the change, and the Wildcats send it deep into Farmington territory once more. Up the right-hand side comes Dick Gensheimer. He lays it off for Cooper McLean. Puck into the corner. Gensheimer, he overskated it. But the Falcons able to keep it in along the end boards. Jacob Lynch trying to play it away for Novi. Dropped it off into the corner. And the Wildcats, under a lot of pressure, just able to get that puck back out to neutral ice. Picked up right down below us by Isaiah Crawford. Goes in behind the Falcon net. Firestone played it up the wall, broken up. Wildcats will hold it in, but no, they won't. They'll fumble it away. Puck came loose to Gensheimer. Gensheimer will play dump and head for the bench as the Falcons go for the change again. Farmington coming into play tonight with a record of 11-8-1. I was looking at their record online, and it recorded 4 consecutive ties for the Falcons in December as the goaltender Carney makes the save on the long-range Jason Petrus wrister. But I was talking with the coaching staff of the Falcons prior to the game tonight, and I was told that in those 4 ties, they did end in regulation time as tie games, but the Falcons went on to win 3 of those games in overtime. So that accounts for their record of 11-8-1. So I was confused both by Farmington's overall record and their upcoming schedule, which we will talk about as the broadcast develops here this evening at the Farmington Hills Ice Arena. Goes again into Falcon territory, and nice job there by Petrus to whack that puck out to center ice. Falcons unable to make a play on it there, although diving to try to do so was Chris Hamilton. Wildcats will pick it up. They're clad in green and black, moving back into Farmington territory. Scoring opportunity. A good-looking wrist shot by Carl Ferron. Sticked aside by Lutheman. And cleared to center by the Falcons. Here comes Drake Cole moving in. Cole with a shot, top left circle, save. Carney puck in behind, and Carney was down and out of the play momentarily, but the Falcons couldn't get it in front of that. And a pass eludes a couple of Wildcats and goes the length, and an icing whistle will bring that faceoff back into Novi territory. Well, let's just get to the schedule, shall we? We're nearing the end of the regular season. The OAA playoffs will begin this weekend. On Friday the 15th, right here at the Farmington Hills Ice Arena, the Falcons will take on Clarkston. Well, I saw them earlier this season. They're a very good, powerful team. Clarkston and Farmington here at the Farmington Hills Ice Arena this Friday. That's February 15th. If the Falcons win on Friday, they will play again on Saturday. They're taking on the winner of the game between Oxford and Rochester as the Falcons, while we're talking about what is coming up, they come close to scoring in real time. But Carney with another save, and that faceoff will stay deep in the Novi zone off to our right-hand side. The Falcons have already qualified for the state high school tournament. They will play in Division III. They will open the state tournament right here at the Farmington Hills Ice Arena on Thursday, February 28th. They will play the winner of Detroit Country Day and Royal Oak Shrine. Those 2 teams will play on Tuesday, the 26th. And the winner of that game, again, Country Day and Shrine, the winner of that game will advance to meet Farmington in the pre-regional. As Novi moves the puck back into Falcon territory. Chris Kennedy turning in the corner, being shadowed down there by Firestone, and Firestone able to wrap it around the wall, but it doesn't come out, and Firestone will have to go after it again. Makes the same play, fires it up the near side wall. It skips away from Nick Heffron, and it goes up into the mesh over the glass and out of play. And we get a look at the Novi coach, Todd Krieger. His team 9-11-1, and if that name Todd Krieger sounds familiar to you, well, here's why. He spent 9 years in the National Hockey League. And when the Washington Capitals were playing the Detroit Red Wings for the Stanley Cup, meeting them in the Stanley Cup final a few years ago, well, Todd Krieger was one of the star defensemen for the Washington Capitals. And now he's back in the area, coaching the Novi Wildcats. Todd Krieger and his brother Jeff is the coach of Clarkston. Novi competes in the Kensington Lakes Athletic Association. Clarkston is, of course, in the OAA, same as Farmington. But the Krieger brothers making a name for themselves at the high school hockey level after Todd certainly did very well for himself out on the ice. So it's great that he's able to maintain a presence in the game. Puck loose in the neutral zone, and Connor Kennick has it. Kenrick, I should say. Nice takeaway in the neutral zone by Farmington's DJ Rankin. Gets the puck in deep, can't control. Now it's knocked down along the end boards. Boy, they had Petrus open in front, couldn't get a pass through to him. And the Wildcats will come back the other way. We go under 10 minutes to go here in the opening period. No score between Farmington and Novi. Falcons looking to finish strong and then move on, as we say, into the OAA playoffs. Then they have one other game against Waterford Mott after the OAA playoffs, but before the state tournament begins. And that, I'm guessing, is a game to avoid for both teams, having to have games spaced out a couple of weeks or so, just to keep themselves fresh, if you will. But the Falcons have come on of late, winning 4 in a row. It's their second 4-game win streak this season. So their victories this season have come in bunches. And they'd certainly like to wrap up the regular season and take a 5-game win streak into the OAA playoffs this upcoming weekend. That's Cooper McLean, number 77 for Farmington. Tapping it out to center ice where it's collected by Heffron. He'll move up the right side, pulls up just inside the line, delivers the puck into the corner. McLean checked off the puck, and it just did dribble out to center ice. The Falcons can't touch it or they'd be offside, and the Wildcats are all too happy to send it into the Farmington zone. Leatherman out of the net to feed it up the wall, and it results in a long shot from the right point by Jimmy Hold, and Leatherman had to make a stick save, and now it's loose out in front. One save and then another by Leatherman. Now another rebound, and Leatherman got his stick on that, and it goes up over his shoulder, over the glass and out of play. So John Leatherman tested as seriously or severely as he has been all night long on that sequence. That puck loose out in front, and Mark Baker, number 15 for Novi, had the opportunity at close quarters. Leatherman, though, square to the shooter, made the save, which he's done a lot of this season. We told you his save percentage this year, .903. That's outstanding for a high school goaltender. You can't win in hockey at any level without good goaltending. The Falcons have gotten that. And how about that glove hand reaction right there by John Leatherman? The shot from the point by Zapsky was deflected in front. Leatherman just stayed right with it, made the grab with his left glove. Another face-off win for Novi. Another shot by Zapsky, and another deflection out in front. This time it went wide, and the Falcons will set it all the way down. So that's icing. And we're down to 8:04 left to go in this first period. For you hockey fans in Farmington, well, the Farmington United Flyers have also qualified for the state tournament. Now they'll play in Division I, and it is my guess that the reason that they're in Division I and Farmington is in Division III is that typically they assign teams to divisions based on the school enrollment. And since Farmington is an amalgam of Harrison and North Farmington, they count the enrollment of the two schools, making them a larger school than simply Farmington alone. So Farmington United, well, they'll play in Division I. And coming up for them, if I can read the schedule correctly, they're going to take on Birmingham United. I do have it right. That'll be on February 25th. That's right here at the Farmington Hills Ice Arena. We even have a start time on that one, 5:55. Oh, good looking rush by the Falcons, but they're offside at the Novi line. So heady times hockey-wise here in the Farmington School District with both the teams in the state tournament week after next. But as we say, between now and then, well, we've got those OAA playoffs coming up. Those OAA playoffs, by the way, if you get a chance to check out some of the action, and a lot of the games will be right here at the Farmington Hills Ice Arena, you're going to see some great high school hockey. I've had an opportunity over the past couple months to, well, I almost hate to say it, but I've been moonlighting for another company doing some hockey games. I've had an opportunity to see quite a few of these OAA teams in action, and I'll tell you what, there's some good hockey being played in the area this year. A lot of teams to watch out for. The team that Farmington is playing on Friday night, Clarkston, they're awfully good. Saw them against Lake Orion. It may be Farmington, Lake Orion. If both those two teams win in the opening round in the OAA playoffs, they'll hook up. The two winners will hook up for the championship on Saturday night. Offside whistle at the Novi line. And in to take the face off for the Falcons is Nick Pizzoro. On the draw for Novi, that was Mark Baker, and Baker wins it. Puck into the Wildcats' end. Jam up right there at the blue line. Puck caromed up in the air. Baker dumped at the line. No call. The puck goes back into Wildcat territory, and Zapsky goes after it. Brandon Wexler lobs the puck to the neutral zone. Comes to the Falcon line. Puck turned over. Another save. Pretty glove save by John Lefferman as he stops Luke Bajeris. Farmington got a bit of a bad hop, and they got a little sloppy with the puck there. It was turned over. Bajeris moved right in, and Lefferman stayed right with him. That was a good-looking glove save by John Lefferman. And good news for the Falcons. Lefferman's a junior, and he'll be back next year. This is Rankin, DJ Rankin, off the glass to the line, stays in the zone. Novi's had some solid scoring opportunities in the past couple of minutes, and they maintain the pressure in Falcons territory. But Heffron will finally get the puck out to center ice, and here comes Gensheimer. Moving right out in front with a pass to Cooper, and he just did miss. Oh, the goaltender Carney got just a piece of that one. As Cooper McLean had a chance. Now the puck sort of flutters to the goal mouth area. And Carney will grab on and hang on, and we'll have another face-off in the Novi end. We want to welcome to the truck tonight Nico Matsumakus, who is making his directorial debut here this evening. So welcome aboard, Nico, and just remember, I'm the guy messing up your demo tape. My name's Rich Kincaid, by the way. I'm glad to be with you here on TV 10 tonight. We have an all-student crew in the truck this evening, which can only mean a better broadcast than, frankly, we're used to seeing. So we're looking forward to that. Another glove save by Lefferman on a wrister from long range by Brian Figgert. We've got Jackie Katz working Chiron for us in the truck tonight. Camera work tonight by Mario Yaldo. Graham Hall, our good friend Jim Sturdy, and Mr. McGuckin is an at-large delegate tonight. He is working all over the arena, making things go, making sure things go smoothly. The guy who makes everything happen at TV 10, Sean McGuckin, the new dad. We'll talk about this in a second. Here comes Baxter looking to move out in front. Instead, dumps into the corner for Figgert. Picked up by Farmington's Pizzoro, who rings it around the wall, and they get the puck out to center ice. It will elude Mark Nahat, though, and go the length for an icing call. We were dismayed to learn that young Atticus McGuckin is just now getting over the first cold of his young life. So we're heartened that he's feeling better, saddened that he caught a cold. But at the same time, and I think Mr. McGuckin will realize this, one thing that I always felt when I was a parent of a little baby infant was when they get sick, it's all part of the process, building up immunity, that sort of thing. Yeah, you hate to see them get sick, but, it's got to happen for them to prevent getting sick in the future, I think. Heffron moving in with a shot off the end boards, comes rattling around to the far boards, tapped back in behind the goal. Falcons trying to get that puck out in front. It is chopped away from Gensheimer, though, came to the line. Held, though, neatly by Farmington's Rankin. And he'll send it back in behind. Gensheimer on the puck there for Farmington. Now he's checked off of it. Cooper moves in, steps into his man, and the puck will stay in the Novi zone. Tied up and skates along the half wall on the left wing side. Sent back into the corner. Ferron for Novi. But he can't clear the puck out. Gensheimer will hold it in for Farmington. There's McLean, big McLean in the corner. Can't center. Came back along the line. Rankin with the hold, and his wrist shot sails high and wide. Parents' night here at the Farmington Hills Ice Arena for this one between the Falcons and Novi. Here's a chance for the Falcons, and Gensheimer just had to go off the heel of his stick as he was set up neatly by Roman Firestone. Farmington, those kids have been out there for a long time, so they'll change. Novi looking to change as well. Puck loose in the neutral zone, and Petrus will send it in for the Falcons. Carney out of the net for Novi, steering it up the wall. Didn't come out. Out in front of the net, a hard wrist shot right there by Chris Hamilton, didn't miss by much. So now you've got Farmington applying pressure in Novi territory. The preponderance of the play has been in the Wildcats' end for the past couple of minutes, and Novi, to ease that pressure, will shoot it all the way down the ice. As we are down to 3 minutes and 4 seconds to go here in period number 1. That's Petrus on the draw for the Falcons. Won it. Newton shot though off a skate. Picked up by Petrus. Laid it out in front. And boy, the Falcons just unable to get a stick on that one for a redirect. And here comes Novi out of the zone. Puck brought to the Farmington blue line. A little backhand and a save by Letham, and a stick save in the backhand by Brandon Wexler. That puck stays deep in Farmington territory, and Letham has to kick another one out with a right pad. Nice footwork by Letham as he had to move quickly to his left to make one save and then dart to his right to make a second. Controlling for the Falcons is Grant Newton. Delayed offside here against Novi, and Newton will regroup behind his own net. Comes out on the far side, now facing some pressure. Spins away from the check, turned it over, and came out in front, but the pass intercepted neatly by Cazzaro, and he'll clear it away. Bouncing puck confounds Drake Cole in the neutral zone. Now he'll pick it up and fire it in. Patrick Waitolo gets there first for Novi. He's knocked off the puck. Penalty coming up here against the Falcons. It'll be the first of the hockey game. Now they whistle it down. And let's see what we've got. We've got a roughing call of some nature. And heading into the penalty box. Let's just wait and see. I believe it's going to be Cazzaro who heads off. 15:11, the time of the game's first penalty here in the first period. And it's Cazzaro for roughing. And Novi in the scoreless tie on the power play. And there you get a look at Nick Cazzaro in the penalty box. That may be his mouth guard. I thought just looking at the shot, and a nice shot it is by our crew. Thought maybe he was bleeding, but I believe that's his mouth guard. Saw the faceoff in the Falcon zone, circle to the left of John Lethman, and the puck dropped, but not fairly. So we shall do it over again in the interests of hockey justice. The penalty on Cazzaro, it turns out to be high sticking. McLean had a chance to get it out of the zone, but couldn't do it. Held by the Wildcats. They'll work it around the perimeter. Redirection on that shot by Lynch. Fagert got his stick on it, and Lethman stayed right with him. Made another pretty save. Now the Wildcats with puck control, and just as I say that, it caroms off a skate and goes right to Farmington's Rankin, and DJ sends it the length. Falcons change. Wildcats on the power play for another minute and 20 seconds as they slide it in deep. Metzler goes after it quickly for the Falcons, plays it off the glass and plays it past Jacob Lynch, and it's going to go all the way back into the Wildcat zone. And Carney, the netminder, has to steer the puck around to the far wall lest he turn it over. Now the shorthanded Falcons trying to bottle the Wildcats up in their own end. Errant pass is batted out of midair and cleared by Meltzer. Nice play by Austin Meltzer. Losing an edge is Brian Fegert at the Falcon line. Carrying on, though, moving in is Luke Bajeris, and Lethman comes to the top of his crease and goes down low to make that save, and he hangs on. We're in the final minute, well into the final minute of the first period. 38 seconds left to go in it. 48 seconds remaining in the power play for the Novi Wildcats. Well, we told you Farmington with 29 goals in their last 4 games, and they haven't scored any here in the first period tonight. And the puck goes sailing up into the Falcons bench. Firestone was trying to clear. He did, but he fired it out of play. So we're down to 34 seconds to go. Nahat on the draw for the Falcons. That's Baker for Novi. Circle to Lutherman's right. And the puck winds up in the corner. Back along the line. Shot through traffic by Kenrick. Didn't get through. And the Falcons clear. Loose puck inside the Novi line. Drake Cole trying to advance it. Had to fight through a check. Wildcats will pick it up. They're offside at the line, though. And they're going to whistle it down on the delayed offside. Falcons want the face-off back in Novi territory, and I'm thinking they probably have a pretty good argument in that regard. Just 4.5 seconds left to go in the period, though. So the point, rather, moot. They drop the puck. The buzzer will sound. There it is. So, a scoreless yet well played first period here at the Farmington Hills Ice Arena. And, boy, that's a surprise. I paused there momentarily to listen for the shots on goal. And Novi out shooting the Falcons 2-1 in that first period. Well, ratio-wise, Novi had 12 shots, and Farmington only 6 shots in that first period. But no score after one period of play. So Novi nothing, Farmington nothing. And as the players head to the locker room, as the Zamboni gets ready to head out, we're going to actually have a ceremony here at Farmington Hills Ice Arena, as this is the final regular season game, or maybe we won't. Maybe we'll have that a little later on. But at any rate, it is a scoreless tie after one period of play. We'll take a break and be back with second period action. You are watching Farmington Falcons hockey tonight on TV 10. Was that the nicest promo or PSA in the history of TV 10? I think it was. I especially enjoyed the shots of the X Games being conducted on Saros Hill there. Outstanding work, people. Here we go, second period, outstanding hockey game as we're scoreless, moving into period number 2. A lengthy first intermission here, which lasted approximately as long as the Super Bowl halftime did. Parents' night here, and all the parents were recognized out on the ice. Wraparound bid and a save by Letherman, and the puck slides over to him on the rebound, and he'll cover up as Novi getting a scoring opportunity here early in the period. That was number 15, Mark Baker, who had the chance. But Letherman down along the ice, hugging the goalpost, held him off. The penalty to Kazoros, which had 10 seconds left to go in it when the period began, has come to an end, so both teams back to full strength. Novi 0 for 1 on the power play. The Wildcats outshot the Falcons 12-6 in the first period. And the story coming in, Letherman has to make another save as that puck dipped on him. A long wrist shot from the right point by Zapsky. And the disc is going to stay in Falcons territory. No, it won't. Going to be brought back out to center ice by the Falcons. On the go, here comes McLean moving to the net. And he just did miss on the long side. Had the goaltender moving. Now the puck turned over. Here's a chance for Gensheimer. He can't get a shot on the forehand. Gets knocked down by Baker. They jam along the end boards and sent back out in front of the net. The centering pass by McLean, though, goes off a blade. And Goes back out to center ice. The Falcons will dump it back in and go for a change. Puck turned over in the neutral zone, and it's fired in by DJ Rankin in hot pursuit. That's Trent Walter, number 24 for Farmington, poked away from him, held at the line by Farmington, dumped back in behind the net. On the go, Chris Hamilton for Farmington leaves it there for Walter. Walter into the corner, trying to get it back in behind the net, but it's picked off and cleared away by Novi. Icing will be the call. So a 0-0 game. We're in period number 2, just underway in the second period, as these teams get ready for their respective league championship playoffs. And then following that, the state high school hockey tournament will begin. Here's an opportunity for Farmington as that puck came out in front, but unable to pick it up was Cole. Held neatly at the line by Meltzer. Sent it in behind. It's taken away by Wotilo. Up the near side wall. Held it again by Farmington. That's Gazzaro. Moving out in front, a hard wrist shot and a good scoring chance for Drake Cole, but Patrick Carney, the goaltender for Novi, had the answer. Cole went hard to the net and got a good shot away from close quarters. But Carney that time, the goaltender, making the big save. We've seen a few of them tonight, and at the other end from John Letherman. And now Carney holding the Falcons off the scoreboard. Cooper McLean in to take the face-off against Chris Kennedy. Falcons win it. Gensheimer. I'm sorry, that was Gensheimer. Trying to get it in deep, couldn't do it. Goes in behind the net. Here's McLean. He'll reverse the puck to the near side wall. Gensheimer in traffic had it poked away and it came to center ice. Lance sort of fanned on his attempt to clear it back in, and Novi's going to move back into the zone, and Letherman has to go down to stop Kennedy, who was in between the circles. Centering pass broken up, shot from the line, deflected. Jimmy Hole let it go, and that just sort of pinballed in on Letherman, but he was down to make the stick save. And here come the Falcons motoring back out to center ice. McLean on the puck. McLean cuts to the middle. McLean from the circle with a shot, and he didn't miss by much on the long side. Heffron will hold for the Falcons. It gets knocked down. Puck loose out near the line. McLean trying to advance it. Hits a skate, gets it back, and he works the puck to Heffron. Centering pass. And a check on the play. Gensheimer before he could get a shot. Falcons hold momentarily, but now will carry him to center ice. And here comes Alex Turner from Novi, number 12, at the half wall on the right side. Double teamed by a couple of Falcons. Puck fed to the far boards, and the Falcons can't get it out of their own zone. Picked up down there now by Nick Heffron. He'll steer it around the end boards into the near right wing corner. That puck loose in the corner. Cazzaro takes a whack at it, got it up the wall, and it's sent back out to center ice, and a whistle here, and a penalty coming up, I'm thinking this time against Novi. The Farmington player down along the ice across the way, that's Heffron. He was knocked down, and Carl Farron will go off. The penalty coming at 3:56 of the second period. Power play number 1 tonight for the Falcons. Get the infraction for you as soon as we get the PA announcement, but it's Farmington on the power play with the puck in Novi territory. Charging is the penalty, as Carney has to make a save. A long shot from the blue line, sort of snuck through traffic and got in on him, but he made the save, and Falcons were on the doorstep, but there was no rebound. Now off the draw, puck controlled by Farmington. Dumped in behind the net. This is Cole, Drake Cole. Cole just leaves it in the corner for Cazzaro. They'll play it back along the blue line. Meltzer with a shot through traffic, and that went just wide. Little spin move in the corner by Nahat. Gets the puck free near corner for Cazzaro. Cazzaro has it, walking along the wall. Back into the corner it goes for Cole. Cole behind the net for Nahat. Nahat spin move, dumps it in behind. Gazuro on the puck for Farmington. Back along the blue line it comes. Shot through traffic, and that just slid through the crease. Firestone pulled the trigger from the right point. Almost snuck one by. Falcons doing a good job of keeping that puck in Novi territory right now on the power play. Now they turn it over. Which, as soon as I say that, I put the hex on him, and Bajeris picks it up for Novi and clears it away. 40 seconds left in this Farmington power play. Scoreless game, second period. Brought back up over the line, and a nice save by Carney on a hard drive by Cooper McLean. Well, McLean had a hat trick for Farmington in the Falcons' last game. That was the night before last, Sunday, February 10th, a 9-2 win for Farmington over Walled Lake Western in that big high school showcase tournament that they had in Chelsea, where they had 42 teams competing. They had a tournament in Trenton last weekend where there were 63 teams competing in a 3-day long event. Trying to split the D and move in, that's Brandon Wexler, but he's ridden off the play. 10 seconds left in the Farmington power play, but the puck's deep in Falcons territory, and it's unlikely Farmington will get another scoring opportunity out of this one. And one of the Farmington players a little shaken up down there. Full strength is cutting to the net was Cooper McLean, but he lost the handle on it. Carney's got the puck, the goaltender, and he'll hang on for a face-off in Novi territory. I did not get the number of the Farmington player who, as I say, was shaken up. I think he got slashed along the wrist area. That's what he was sort of shaking his wrist. But there was no penalty on the play. And the player has returned to the Falcon bench, so hopefully he's okay once the sting goes away. Big battle for the puck, and it's taken away by Isaiah Crawford. And Crawford couldn't advance the puck as he moved to the neutral zone. Patrick Waitolo will try his luck. Taps it to center ice, and it goes up over the Falcon blue line. Farmington with the takeaway, and they'll clear it back to the Novi line. Well, Tolo has it again for the Wildcats, and again he sends it in. Race for the puck along the end boards, and Firestone, their first for Farmington, battling with Crawford. Real battle with Crawford back in behind the net. Now Crawford has it near right wing corner. Trying to turn away from a check. All he can do is steer the puck in behind. It's sent to the blue line. It eludes Connor Kenrick and goes the length of the ice, and the netminder Carney sends a pass all the way out to center ice. Here comes Crawford moving in, and Leatherman standing his ground to make the save, and no rebound again. Face off in the Falcon zone with 10:03 to go in the second period, and we remain scoreless here. Farmington with a 4-game win streak coming into this one tonight. Get a load of these scores in the 4-game win streak. Oh, they scored. Novi scores right off that face-off. And just like that, on a play that just didn't look like it was particularly dangerous, the Wildcats are on the board. They get the goal at 7:01 of the second period. And they take a 1-0 lead here. I'm going to have to wait for the announcement on the scoring to pass that along to you. Well, the Falcons have scored 29 goals in their last 4 games. They haven't scored any so far tonight, and now they're going to need to score at least 2 to get a victory. Novi with a 1-0 lead on the goal at 7:01. Kennedy gets it. And Baxter gets the assist on the goal at 7:01. The PA guy said 6:01, but he's in error. There's a loose puck, and they score on the rebound. Backhanded home by Nick Gensheimer. And Gensheimer ties the game just like that at 7:37. Shot came from the blue line. I don't know if the original shot got through to Carney or if it hit a leg and just sort of lay there out in front. But Gensheimer was, as they say, Johnny on the spot, and he lofted it high into the net with a backhand. And Nick Gensheimer has just scored his 11th goal of the year. And we are tied 1-1. Novi scores at 7:01, and the Falcons answer at 7:37. Heffron and Lance get the assists at 7:37. So that Novi lead lasted for all of 36 seconds before the Falcons leveled it. They'll bring the face-off back into Novi territory here. Circle to the right of netminder Patrick Carney. Cazzaro on the draw for the Falcons. Puck goes into the corner. White Colo firing it around to the far wall. Wexler trying to clear. Can't do it. Falcons send it back in deep. Here's Nahat trying to spin away from a check-in behind the net. Got it to Cole. Cole put it out in front. Cazzaro was on his backhand. Couldn't get much on it as the puck again in behind the Wildcat net to our left-hand side. Chipped back into the corner, and this time White Tolo will play it to the near side wall. Wildcats overskate it down there. It's just going to slide to the net, and Carney will alertly go down, and we'll have another face-off in the Wildcat end. So Farmington, an obvious lift for the Falcons, getting the game-tying goal in short order as they did, and they really had the pressure on the Wildcats in that last sequence. Now a line change, and Cooper McLean comes out to center Nick Heffron and Gensheimer, and a pretty glove save right there by Carney on a rocket drive from the right point off the stick of D.J. Rankin. Whoa, Rankin hammered it. And Carney, straight, when you're a goaltender, you love making that save. You get points for artistic merit when you stretch out and make a glove save like that. And there is, when you play that position, there are few saves more satisfying than the big glove save like the one Carney just made. There's another shot from the line. Again, it was Rankin pounding at it, but this time it hit a leg, went wide. And the Wildcats finally will pick it up and move back to center ice. This is Alex Turner on the puck. Stepping away from Rankin's check at the line. But the Falcons will poke it back out to center ice. Open on the far right wing side, Gensheimer couldn't get it through the net. Centering pass off a skate. It was loose out in front dangerously before it was cleared away by Carl Ferron. And the faceoff will come right back into the Novi zone with 7:38 to go, second period. Each team has scored here in the second period, and that's our score. Novi 1, Farmington 1. Rich Kincaid with you here in the booth, and in the truck tonight, directing the broadcast, Nico Matimakus. The first hockey game he's ever directed, and he's doing a fine job. And right now, the Wildcats having trouble again getting it out of there. Almost taken away out in front of the net by Trent Walter. But it stays deep in the Novi zone, and Walter will go in behind the net. Had the puck momentarily before he was bumped off of it by Mark Zapsky. Again, that puck dangerously loose in front of the Novi net, and Jimmy Hobel just backhanded to the far boards, came to the line and out, controlled there by Farmington's Meltzer, and he'll send it right back in. Good, solid forechecking here by the Falcons. Knocked down and almost held in the zone again by Farmington, but Brian Baxter will come back the other way, working 1-on-2. Goes to the high slot shot. Save Letherman as he flashes his leather. There's the Falcon goaltender, John Letherman. That save percentage, so impressive, .903, and that goals against average, so impressive at 3.05 coming into the game tonight. Nice numbers for the junior netminder for the Farmington Falcons. He's been a difference maker for this team, according to his coach, Mark Vellucci. Puck winds up behind the Falcon net. Cazzaro had it taken away, but the centering pass broken up. Nice bit of work right there, is coming back the other way for Farmington. D.J. Rankin. He stole the puck inside his own line and turned it into a scoring chance. Kearney had to make a blocker save on his shot. Under 6 to go, second period, a 1-1 tie. Here's Cole trying to take it away in the far right corner. Getting some help from Kozuro. It came out in front, and they score. Puck is fired by, I believe, Firestone, number 25. No, it was 55, Drake Cole. So Cole doing that hard work along the end boards, got some help from Kozuro. And when Kozuro picked it up in the corner, Cole moved out in front of the net, took the pass, and fired a good hard shot low. But not so low that it was along the ice. It was over the pad of the goaltender Kearney, and the Falcons have taken a 2-1 lead. .11-12, the time of the goal by Cole. It's his 9th of the year. Nahat and Kozuro getting the assists on the go-ahead goal in this hockey game. So after being held off the scoreboard for the first 27 minutes or so tonight, 24 minutes or so tonight, the Falcons have come back to score 2 goals in about 3.5 minutes. And they lead Novi 2-1 here at the Farmington Hills Ice Arena. The play goes into the Falcon zone to our right. It's loose off to the side. They're whacking away at it, and Letherman able to make a couple of stops on Ryan Baxter before a whistle puts an end to the play, and probably a penalty here against the Falcons. High sticking, the call against Austin Metzler. At 11:48. Second power play of the hockey game for the Wildcats, and they win the faceoff cleanly. So they have possession in Farmington territory. They'll work the puck around the perimeter, at least for the moment. Falcons with a 2-1 lead, but they're shorthanded now. Puck controlled left circle, and a shot goes up over the net as Ryan Baxter tried to pick the corner. Just missed, and it goes out of play. Still a long way to go in the shorthanded situation for Farmington. 1:40 left in the high sticking penalty to Austin Metzler. Another face-off win for Novi. So important to win these draws when you have the man advantage and the face-offs in the attack zone. They've won a couple in a row now in that fashion. Sent back to the blue line, Jacob Lynch on the puck for Novi. Plays it along the line for Jimmy Hole. Hole will wrap it around the boards. It winds up behind the net. Deflected high in the air, and Hole goes down to a knee to block it on the short hop, carried in behind the net by Brian Fickert of Novi. Back along the line for Hole, and his shot hit a leg, didn't get through. At the left point now, Jacob Lynch looking to tee it up. Lynch walks the line. Hands to Hole. Back to Lynch. Back to Hole. Sent it out in front, broken up by the Falcons, but they're unable to clear it. Now Lynch again in the high slot. Dumps it off to the wing. Rink-wide pass to the near side to Hole, up top for Lynch, and his shot goes off of Cooper McLean's stick over the end glass and out of play, and we're down to 40 seconds left to go in the Wildcats power play. Farmington 2 and Novi 1. All the scoring has come here in the second period. All of it has come in the last 4.5 minutes or so. Again, Novi with that face-off win in the Falcon zone. And again, they work the puck around the edges. Up top, Waitolo handing along the blue line to Zapsky. And his long wrist shot is gloved with relative ease by Letherman. And now, with 24 seconds left in the Novi power play, another face-off in Falcons territory. Heading out onto the ice, Cole and Nahat for Farmington, the two penalty killers. But for the fourth time on the power play, Novi wins a faceoff in the offensive zone. However, Luke Bajeris overskated the puck, and Nahat said, "Thank you very much," picked it up and cleared it, and Kearney has to play the puck away from a charging Cole of Farmington. Dancing through center ice comes Mark Baker. Stopped at the line, checked by Nahat. Penalty comes to an end as Meltzer steps back out onto the ice, but the play continues in Falcon territory. Centering pass winds up in the near right-hand corner. Now it's taken away by Farmington. Here they come back to the line. Here comes Cole. Cole tried to center, but it was blocked neatly. A couple of Wildcats went down. The puck came right out in front, but Heffron couldn't get much on his shot, and it just sort of floated to Kearney, and the Novi goaltender loves it out of midair and hangs on for a faceoff. There's a shot from the line off the faceoff by Newton. Skitters wide. And bang along the wall right down below us here in our broadcast location. Centering pass for Firestone. Missed on his original shot. Did dribble it towards the net. McLean on the shot, I should say, number 77. But no real trouble for Kearney to make the save on that one. Nice play by Crawford to get it out, but then he gave it up. Collision at the blue line. The Farmington player who was knocked down, DJ Rankin, wanted an interference call, and I think he could have made a case for it. Wildcats regroup in the neutral zone. Kyle Lash moving into the zone and lobs one over top of the net. Falcons send it back out to center ice. It's controlled by Lynch inside the Novi line. Sends it across near side for Kenrick. Kenrick had it poked away. Heffron going after it, but he can't get to it. Now here's Cole. He gets shouldered by Farron, and skating away is Connor Kenrick. He doesn't get far, though, and the Falcons send it back into Novi territory. We're down to 90 seconds to go here in the second period as Cole, who has the go-ahead goal in this game, feeds it along the boards for Nahat. They'll work the corner of the Falcons well. Now they send it up top. Here's Cole, half wall, across the way, back in behind for Nahat. Nahat had the puck frustratingly roll off the end of his blade, but the Falcons hold it at the line. Boy, they had Pizzoro open in the high slot area, but the pass broken up by Novi. Delayed offside against the Falcons, and the puck at center ice picked up now by Pizzoro. He's unceremoniously dumped in the neutral zone as he sends it in. Kenrick picks it up for the Wildcats, and his pass misses everybody. So icing on Novi now with 49 seconds left to go in the period. A face-off in the Wildcats zone. I'll set the Falcons for you here for this important late in the period face-off. Gensheimer centering. McLean on the right side and Heffron on the left. The defensive pair for Farmington. Number 18 is DJ Rankin, and the number 2 is Grant Newton. Newton's on the right side, Rankin on the left, and it skips to the line, and Newton did a good job to hold, but then it's cleared away. Falcons send it back in, but they have to wait to get back on side, and Novi will use that time to clear it out of their own end. Half a minute to go in the second period, and here come the Falcons again. Gensheimer moving in. Quick shot, quick glove save by Patrick Kearney. We talked about Cooper McLean having a hat trick in Farmington's last game. It was Nick Heffron who had a hat trick for the Falcons in the game, well, 2 games prior to that. Heffron with a hat trick on February 2nd in an 8-0 win over Utica. Then Farmington beat Marquette 5-3, and then in that 9-2 win, their last game, Cooper McLean had the hat trick. Puck comes out to center ice. 15 seconds left in the period as Cole backhands it back in. McLean giving chase for Farmington, picks it up side of the net, put it out in front, and the goaltender Kearney came out and made a big-time stop on Heffron, who was set up. Puck goes to the far point. Time winding down in the period and firing just wide. It would have counted if it had gone, as they say. It was shot by Grant Newton, and the second period comes to an end with Novi hanging on All right. All the scoring in this game came in at the second period. Farmington got goals from Gensheimer and Cole, and that was after the Wildcats had opened the scoring on a goal by Chris Kennedy. But their lead was short-lived, and the Falcons skate off after 2 with a 2-1 lead. We'll break for the second intermission and be back with third period action. As here tonight on TV 10, you are watching Farmington Falcons hockey.
Art history. You see this Mazel Tov from the cast and crew of Fiddler on the Roof.
Hey, Julia, can I borrow a pencil?
You don't have a pencil?
No. Can I borrow one?
You're in art history.
Nico, where's your pencil? Get out of class.
True words there. Be prepared for class. Be prepared for when they put you on camera here on TV 10. I'm not. Here we go. Period number 3. The Falcons with a 2-1 lead over the Novi Wildcats as we join you here on this Tuesday night, February 12th from the Farmington Hills Ice Arena. Falcons looking for their 12th victory of the year, and they're 17 minutes away from that. Novi hoping to get into double digits with wins, and look at that save by Leffman. How about that? Tell you what, that was Mark Baker who walked right in, and Leatherman slid across on his right side, gave him the 2-pad stack, and beat him with his glove. A pretty save, as nice a save as we've seen in some time, right there by John Leatherman. A beauty. Falcons fired up the near side wall, and turning his Heffron, lost it. Stays in the zone. Another chance coming up for Novi. Another save. Letham on that rebound was loose off the shot by Luke Bajeris. Stays in Falcons territory, and it's going to be skated away now by Farmington. Cooper McLean, rink-wide feed, too far out in front of Heffron. He'll try and track it down in behind the net, but the Wildcats have it. Farmington 2, Novi 1 as we're in the third period now. OAA playoffs are coming up this weekend. The Falcons will be in action as they'll take on the they'll be taking on Clarkston on Friday night. That's the 15th. If they win that game, they'll play again on Saturday the 16th. Heffron's long shot gloved by the goaltender Patrick Carney. I believe it was going to go wide, but Carney taking no chances, gloves it, and the faceoff will be in the Wildcat zone way off to our right-hand side. And to take the face-off for Farmington, that's Mark Nahat, number 19. They win it. This is Cole trying to stuff it in the short side. Kicked out by Carney. Was loose there momentarily, but skated away by Novi, and the puck comes to center. Cole being double-teamed down there. Gets a little help from Grant Newton. And the Falcons come away with the puck. This is Kazoro going into the right corner. Feeding it behind the net, winds up on the far side, cleared back out to center ice, and Cole there alertly to pick it off for Farmington. Then he has it taken away, and it goes deep into Falcons territory. Now Novi trailing by a goal on the puck, but a nice play coming back. Nick Kazuro to intercept the centering pass, and he sends it back to the Novi line. Collision there as Mark Nahat went to the ice for Farmington, and the puck comes back into Falcons territory. Grant Newton trying to hammer it off the wall, but it stays deep in the Farmington end to our left. Now here's Newton feeding it back towards the line, and it's chopped by Nahat, and it's going to go far enough for icing. That'll keep the face-off in the Falcon zone. So Novi pressing the attack here early in this third period, 14:43 left to go in it. And Novi looking for the equalizer. Well, the scoring came in the second period. Kennedy scored for Novi, then Gensheimer and Cole for Farmington, and that's where we are right now. 2-1 Farmington. The Falcons outshot them 20-10 in the second period in the game. 22 shots on goal for Novi and 26 for the Falcons. After Novi had outshot Farmington 12-6 in the first period. Will this go far enough for icing? There is no icing. The netminder Leatherman comes out and plays it. Stepped away from Isaiah Crawford. A nifty bit of stick handling by the Falcon goaltender. And no, you don't see that every night. Here's Firestone for Farmington. Outlet pass for McLean. Tried to send Heffron up over the blue line, but he's checked off the puck. McLean stepping into his man Crawford, but Crawford comes away with puck possession. Steers it up the boards. Rink wide feed to center ice. Just is collected by Kyle Lash. Then he's spun around by Firestone. Puck goes in behind. And Gensheimer stepped into Crawford, and Crawford went down. Puck back out to center ice. Novi changing. Doing a good job of buying time to complete that change. And here they come back into Falcons territory. At the right point, Brandon Wexler in all kinds of traffic, and Trent Walter able to get the puck back out to center ice. Players lose their edge at the Novi line, tumble to the ice, puck stays in the zone. Scoring opportunity for Farmington, and a shot from the top of the left circle by DJ Rankin just did go wide, and we're getting a penalty call here against the Wildcats. I believe we're getting a boarding call. At 3:51 of the third. And stepping into the box goes Jacob Lynch. So the second power play tonight for the Falcons. And they've got the puck in the Novi zone. Indeed, the penalty is boarding on Lynch at 5:51 of this second period. I'm sorry, 3:51. Here come the Falcons. This is Heffron, right circle, churning. Feeds it back to the blue line. Return pass, sent back up top. DJ Rankin with a shot and a goal. Rankin firing from the left point as they threw it around. Newton fed it to Heffron, and he got it back to Rankin at the left point. And Rankin with a snap shot, hard, low along the ice. It's a power play goal for Farmington. At 4:25 and a 3-1 lead. We'll see if it was tipped. It was Rankin on the shot. We'll get the scoring, the official scoring momentarily. It is Rankin's goal. Newton gets an assist. And also McLean gets a helper. So at 4:25, the Falcons create some breathing room as they move into a 3-1 lead. A power play goal for Farmington. They're 1 for 2 with the man advantage tonight now. And here come the Wildcats, but a nice takeaway by Cole at the line. Ultimately, though, he lost control, but covering up at his own line is Farmington's Meltzer. He sends it in. Cole again trying to take it away. Can't do it. And the puck back to the Farmington line. This is Ryan Baxter. And Baxter's checked off the puck. Nice work by Mark Nahat. He clears it back out to center ice. Very impressive shift there, I thought, by Farmington's number 55, Drake Cole. Here comes McLean 1-on-3, and his shot will go off the stick of Jacob Lynch and out of play. So Farmington 3, Novi 1. Now 11:27 to go here in the game. As the Falcons, after giving up the game's first goal, have now scored 3 unanswered. Gensheimer into the face-off circle for Farmington. Won it cleanly. Worked it back to the blue line. Richard Lance waits with it there. He'll steer it around the end boards. Heffron going after it for Farmington. They were re-announcing announcing the goal. They've changed the second assist to Heffron. Newton and Heffron with the assist on the goal by Rankin at the 4:25 mark. But now Novi looking to make it a one-goal game again. The puck off to this side of the net, steered out of harm's way by Rankin, picked up near side boards by Gensheimer. And the senior captain for Farmington will steer it in and head for the bench. Big McLean goes in behind the net to our right-hand side. Gets it all the way back to Rankin, firing from the line. That's sticked aside, came back to the near side point. Grant Newton working in traffic, feeding it in behind. And colliding are a couple players down there. Might have been Lance for Farmington. It was Zapzinski for Novi. And the Novi player, Zapzinski, will come away with the puck. It's actually Trent Walter in deep, working hard for the Falcons there. The puck along the far side wall just is poked back out to center ice. There come the Wildcats on the rush. They move in and a centering pass just out of the reach of Kyle Lash. He'd have had a half-empty net on that pretty feed. Came back to the neutral zone. And the Wildcats come back into the zone. Here's White Polo. Wrister goes over top the crossbar too high and sent back out to center ice by Farmington. Falcons now 9 minutes and 40 seconds away from their 12th win of the year. They've got a 3-1 lead over Novi. So they look to extend their win streak to 5. Here come the Wildcats. Nice rink-wide feed to Wexler. Little spinorama pass by Mark Baker didn't click as he tried to backhand it out in front. And from the circle, it's Baker with the shot off a Farmington stick and up over the end glass. 9:21 on the clock. And the Falcons positioning themselves for a postseason run. They brought a 4-game win streak into this one, and late in the season is always a good time to get hot. Now in their last 5 games, including tonight, the Falcons have scored 32 goals. I would have to look, but I would guess they did not score 32 goals in November and December combined. And here they are with 32 goals in 5 games. Where'd that offense come from? Out of nowhere, really. They had 1 game early back in November where they scored 8. And as you look at their scores through the season, you see a lot of 3s and 2s and 1s. Here's an opportunity right out in front. And a snapshot by Kazoro. Just a little high. Oh, he was set up. He had time to pick his spot and just did miss it. Newton at center will pitchfork the puck in. McLean going after it in the corner, but it's fed up the wall and back out to center ice. Moving up over the blue line, Turner had his shot blocked at the defense as Newton stood in there. Falcons don't clear the zone though. Centering pass and coming back on the play was Newton to tie up his check. That would be Chris Kennedy, who has the Novi goal here tonight. The Falcons able to send it back up over the Novi line on the forecheck as Heffron for Farmington, but the Wildcats will move it back out to center ice. Newton is bumped off the puck, but Gensheimer will tap it off the wall, and it is played deep into the zone by Heffron as he'll head to the bench. The Falcons will change all 5. Play back in the Novi zone to the right. Good shot from the low camera angle. And the Falcons almost getting a scoring opportunity there as they continue to press the attack in the Novi zone, and all the Wildcats can do is clear it back to the Farmington line. Bouncing puck in the neutral zone, skipped away from Firestone, picked up by Walter, and he'll send it in. Wildcats send it right back out again. Now here comes Walter, moving up over the line, right circle with a shot. Didn't get a lot on it, just sort of scooped at it. And it floats to Carney, who gloves it and hangs on. He's played pretty well here tonight, Patrick Carney. Novi netminder, but 3 have found the net behind him. And at the other end, John Lefferman has stopped all but 1. So Farmington with a 3-1 lead. There are exactly 7 minutes remaining. Falcons win the draw. clean, shoved in the corner. Nahat trying to get free, but his centering pass will slide back out to center ice. Rankin has it for the Falcons. DJ, long pass just out of the reach of Nahat, and it's icing. So we've got Farmington, the Falcons, in the state high school hockey tournament. They'll be in action on Thursday, February 28th, right here at the Farmington Hills Ice Arena. They will meet in the pre-regional, the winner of the game between Country Day and Royal Oak Shrine. They'll play that game on Tuesday, the 26th, right here at the Farmington Hills Ice Arena. Farmington Hills United, meanwhile, in action in the state tournament on February 25th, as they'll take on Birmingham Unified. That game here at the Farmington Hills Ice Arena, again, February 25th at 5:55. The state hockey tournament right here in Farmington/Farmington Hills. Mark Vellucci, the Falcon coach. Big pileup of players off the draw. Save Lethemon, and the rebound was steered just wide by Chris Kennedy. Nice save by Lethemon there. Now a nifty little takeaway by Heffron, and here he comes into the zone, and the net's empty, and he scores. Well, they pulled the goaltender early. Novi did, and Heffron makes him pay as he nets an empty netter at 10:48, and it's 4-1 Farmington. That may well be an unassisted goal for Heffron. I'll be honest with you, I was surprised when I looked up and I saw the Novi net unguarded. And a good scoring opportunity for the Wildcats off the faceoff in Farmington territory, but Heffron, a nice takeaway at his own line, and he was wide open up the right side, but not as wide open as that Novi net was. And young Nick Heffron made no mistake burying it, and he gets his 10th of the year. 4 different Falcon goal getters in this game tonight, and Farmington with a 4-1 lead now. And now 5:45 left to go in the game. And a Farmington player goes to the ice, and a penalty up and coming here on Novi. A goal by Heffron, indeed unassisted at 10:48. A 4-1 Farmington lead. And stepping into the penalty box for Novi is Carl Farron. Time of the penalty is 10:20. I'm sorry. $11:20. And it's a 10-minute misconduct. It's just a misconduct penalty on Farron. I'm not sure what he did. It may have been something he said. And Farron also given a 2-minute penalty for illegal hip contact at 11:20. That accounts for the Farmington power play, which is underway now as the puck goes up over the glass and out of play. So an illegal check and a misconduct to Farron at 11:20. And Farmington power play number 3 tonight. They're 1 for 2 so far. Falcons have scored at even strength. They've scored on the power play, and they have an empty netter so far. And they have a 4-1 lead with now exactly 5 minutes to play. Rankin, wrister, left point, save Carney. Snared it with the trapper and hangs on. So the Falcons are going to take a 5-game winning streak into the OAA playoffs, which begin with a game against Clarkston here on Friday night. That'll be the 15th. Right here at the Farmington Hills Ice Arena, and I suspect that's going to be a pretty good hockey game. I mentioned earlier, I saw Clarkston just a couple of weeks ago play Lake Orion, and Clarkston's a very good team. It's a shot from the line. It got through to Carney, and he makes a stick save. It was McLean who let her go from the line. Now, puck back out to center. McLean turns there, steps neatly around one check, then another, laid a pass across, and Gensheimer had his shot stopped by Carney, who had to be baffled and bewildered by the skate work there displayed by Cooper McLean, who beat not one, not two, but three of his fellows before handing off at the last moment. Nifty stick work by Cooper McLean. He's Farmington's leading scorer with 29 points this year, but he's been held off the score sheet tonight. He was on it briefly. They had awarded him an assist on Farmington's power play goal scored by Rankin, but they changed that assist, gave it to Heffron, and there's a rocket from the left point by Melcher that's blocked at the defense and cleared away by Novi. 25 seconds left in the Farmington power play as we approach 4 minutes to go in the hockey game, and there it is, 4 minutes left. And Farmington on top, 4-1. They've scored 4 unanswered goals here in this one after Novi took the lead. Cole knocked it down at the line, but it just does dribble to center ice, and Cole will pick it up again for the Falcons. Skates right around. Chris Kennedy moves in with a shot, and he sailed it high. Falcons would have been offside had they touched it. And as the penalty comes to an end, Novi will move to center ice. And right there is Mark Nahat to check his man, take the puck away, but the Falcons are going to be called for a penalty here. At 13:33, Nahat will step off. And Novi with a power play chance, but they trail by 3 with 3.5 minutes to go. They are not in a good situation, power play or not. They win the face-off right off the draw, but Jarris with a shot right on, Leatherman to save. Slashing the penalty on Nahat. The power play for the Wildcats. Leatherman down along the ice to block the centering pass. Good active stick by the Falcon goaltenders. The puck goes into the near side corner. Fed back up top along the line, then taken away in the circle. Pass intercepted by Newton, who clears. Working it ahead now, got it to Walter, and Walter moves up over the line, had his pocket picked by Jimmy Hole. But the Wildcats are forced to deep into their own zone. Under 3 minutes to go now, with the Falcons leading by 3. So they're going to go, unless they collapse here in the final 2.5 minutes. They'll improve to 12, 8-1 on the season. They'll have a 5-game win streak as the OAA playoffs loom. Standing his ground neatly was DJ Rankin. He took it away and cleared it. Back after it, Zapsky for Novi. 50 seconds left in the Wildcats power play here. Now it's collected by Petrus for Farmington, and he's content just to slide it back into Novi territory. Here come the Wildcats. Back the other way, and the play is broken up by Nick Callis at the Farmington line. Bounce back into Falcon territory, and boy, pretty close to a charge by Wotoilo of Novi. Puck loose off to the side, centered out in front by Fegert, and it just sort of dribbles to a sprawling Leatherman, and he'll cover up with 15 seconds left in the Novi power play. 1:42 left to go in the game. Farmington 4, Novi 1. Well, I don't know if we'll have the opportunity to bring you any playoff action or not this year. If we do, that'll be great. If we cannot, one of the factors is the fact that the schools will be on break. There's Leatherman with another save on a shot by Fegert. And just some other scheduling considerations. So if this turns out to be our final broadcast of the season, we certainly want to thank you for joining us for the hockey action here on TV10. I have had a great time, and I want to thank Sean McGuckin and the entire TV10 staff and all the students for helping me enjoy the experience as much as I have. And if this is our last broadcast, we'll see you next year. If not, we'll see you soon enough. Here comes a penalty on Novi. Now it's going to be against Farmington. The Novi net empty to our right-hand side, and Connor Henry rags the puck in behind the goal. 1:10 left to go in the third period. Now it goes into the into Farmington territory, and as the touch is affected by Leatherman, the penalty will be called here against Farmington's Gensheimer, and he will head off at 15:53. Again, our crew tonight, Nico Matsumakus, running things in the truck. He's been our director this evening, and I see a bright future for him. He's done a great job in this his debut hockey broadcast. Jackie Katz working Chiron for us tonight. And we got Mario Yaldo and Graham Hall on camera, along with Mr. Sturdy, Jim Sturdy, out there. Into the final minute now. And a nice job coming back there by Jason Petras to block a shot. Stays in the Falcon zone. Now it's going to be picked off and cleared away by Farmington's Nick Callis. And the puck into the Wildcats bench across the way with now 34 seconds left to go. So the Falcons will extend the win streak to 5. And in those 5 games, they've outscored the opponent 34-10. And Clarkston comes to the Farmington Hills Ice Arena on Friday the 15th for the opening game of the OAA Red Playoffs. Time for one last Novi rush. And wrist shot goes high over top of the net. Wexler trying to beat Leatherman high. Didn't work out for him. Now off to the side of the net, Leatherman came out and challenged his shooter, Mark Baker, and denied him. 10 seconds to go in the hockey game. Puck goes to the far wall. They bump for it there. Cole has it for Novi. Knocked off his skates. Still got it out in front. Leatherman had to make a blocker save, and at the buzzer, it's cleared out of harm's way by Trent Walter. And the Falcons, scoring 4 unanswered goals here tonight, will skate off with a 4-1 victory over Novi in their regular season finale. An outstanding effort tonight by Farmington. They fell behind 1-0 early in the second period after a scoreless first. And then Farmington reeled off 4 unanswered goals to win. Gensheimer with his 11th. Cole scoring for Farmington in that second period to give them the lead. They would not relinquish. It was his 9th of the year. Then it was a DJ Rankin scoring early in period number 3, his 5th. And Heffron with his 10th of the year to wrap up the scoring tonight for the Falcons. 28 shots for Novi tonight. And 33 for Farmington as the Falcons outshot them 7-6 in period number 3. So the guys shake hands, and the Farmington players are going to come right down near our broadcast location here to salute their fans, the Farmington High School students, parents, and others who have come out to see them beat Novi here tonight. So on behalf of our entire TV10 crew, I thank you so much for joining us. My name's Rich Kincaid. Again, our final score here tonight in Farmington Hills. It was the Farmington Falcons 4 and the Novi Wildcats 1. And we say so long from the Farmington Hills Ice Arena.